Welcome back to Against the Spread. I'm Troy. That's my partner, Christian.
Yes, sir.
And here we go. Week 11 NFL picks. We'll recap Week 10 real quick. Another up and down week for us. Some bad beats hit us. Whatever, sports gambling, so we'll get into it. Hit all the primetime unders. Listen, this is a run. We have not missed, thank God, but I've never seen anything like it. We took them all and we hit them all. Chicago, Carolina under 40. Jets, Las Vegas under 36.5. Under 36. And then Buffalo, Denver under 47.5. All three hit. We had Pittsburgh -3. That hit. And then we'll get into the losses here. Saints -2.5. We thought we were in the right spot there, but Josh Dobbs, I guess, is a magician. This has been a journeyman quarterback. And I don't know what the hell has happened, but he's a great coach. That's all I got to say. And the Saints really dominated that second half, had a chance to tie it to go to OT. Just never happened for us. And I will say my lock of the week streak has come to an end. That was 7 in a row for me. I moved that to 8-2, unfortunately. But we're back with a great one this week. Cincy -6.5. Never had a chance. CJ Stroud for real. Bengals still should have won the game. Tyler Boyd dropped that pass in the end zone. They had to settle for a field goal, and then that allowed for CJ to drive down there and win it. This is the beat I'm talking about. Giants team total under 10.5. This was locked. Instead, they're getting beat by 40 or whatever the score was, and Brian Daboll has these boys going down the field, calling timeouts, trying to score, audibles at the line of scrimmage. They score a touchdown with 5 seconds left in bullshit time, and we lose that one. It was, whatever. Jets PK, no idea how they lost this game. They dominated the entire game. They just can't score touchdowns. I think they had like 5 field goals. It's pretty ridiculous at this point. Well, hey, whatever. And then Jacksonville +3. Christian's lock of the week. Never had a chance there. Blowout by the 49ers.
Are Jags frauds?
I don't know. I like the Trevor Lawrence can get. I don't know, man. He's kind of.
Dude,
question marks.
It's one thing to lose the game, but it's another thing to lose the game like that. Like you can't even get the end zone. You know what I'm talking about? And now, 49ers are for real.
They had their boys back too.
Yeah. Honestly, as soon as I made that bet, I kind of regretted it. I was just thinking about the Chase Young thing. Like I woke up on Sunday and I was just like. For some reason, I know I'm going to lose this bet. And I was on the wrong side. Didn't end up hedging it, though. I'm just going to stick with it. But, yeah, Jags +3 was never the move. San Francisco is for real. They are not frauds. I kind of read into the game too much a little bit. Brock Purdy had struggled really bad the last 3 weeks, and I still don't think Brock Purdy's a great quarterback. So I thought that teams were starting to kind of scheme him up a little bit and be able to, take the ball away from him a little bit more. But that was not the case. He had his weapons back. Trent Williams back in that offense is such a huge, huge deal.
God, he's so good.
He's so good, man.
He did have that concussion thing going on. I think he's kind of in the right headspace again and made some really great throws. So, listen, they had all their boys back on defense, on offense. They looked great. Added Chase Young to the mix. He looked really good. So, we'll tip our caps to that. Like I said, losing week for us, lost 3.5 units or so. Still positive on the NFL season, up 7.74, I believe. So, with that being said, let's get into week 11. We're really excited for this week. We both had a lot of plays we liked. Obviously, for the show, we have to condense it down. So, we'll let you know throughout what we really liked. But, Christian, let's get into it.
Absolutely, man. And one thing, too, that you guys will notice on this podcast, it's going to be a little different than the other ones. We're going to be riding these solo out for the rest of the season. We may have some people back on for playoff games, like big games maybe in the playoffs or, NFC Championship, AFC Championship. We might do like a live watch along or something like that for you guys. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to start going live on the YouTube more. Going to start trying to do some TikTok live, stuff like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and hop into the first game we got here. We got Cincinnati traveling to Baltimore. Baltimore minus 3.5 with the over/under 46. Man, this is a tough game. Huge lean to Cincinnati with plus the 3.5. They just lost that game. This is a must-win spot for them. If they don't win this game, say bye-bye to the playoffs. So this is the games that Joe Burrow likes to show up in and win. So I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even play around. If you like the plus 3.5, maybe sprinkle some on the money line too. Take the plus 3.5, and then you could see some real big value there. But I'm gonna stay away from it, man. Lamar Jackson's taken a lot of my money this year, betting against him. I think I've only won one bet against Lamar Jackson when he played Pittsburgh. Other than that, he's been taking my money, man. So I'm gonna stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Oh yeah, I do. Listen, like you just said, if the Bengals don't win this game, their playoff hopes are kind of. You get to 5-5. I think it's like a 30% chance that you make the playoffs. I don't think the Bengals want to do that, right? So give me the Bengals plus 3.5 as my lock of the week. I'm riding Joey B.
First game of the week.
Yeah, Thursday night football kind of scares me, but
okay. So we're gonna be hyped for Thursday. Let's go.
Yeah, listen, I'm getting the hook here. I think this is gonna be a 3-point game, either side. It's a division game. Going to be a close game. Hey, Baltimore as a home favorite in division since 2015, 45% against the spread. Harbaugh and Lamar as favorites of 3 or more, under 500. So I mean, just all the trends are pointing towards the Bengals team here off of that terrible loss last week against C.J. Stroud. God, I still know they lost the game, but love the Bengals in this spot. I know it's a road game. It's going to be a close divisional battle. If they do lose, look for JT to kick that field goal. And then I will note this as well. Since 2019, divisional dogs are 57% against the spread. On the road, sorry. So this is what this spot is. So on the road, divisional dogs, that would be the Bengals in this case, 57% against the spread. We're looking for value here. I see a ton of value here. Even if they do lose, I think it's by a field goal. So, yeah, give me the Bengals plus 3.5. I love this.
Love it. I'm excited for Thursday. Let's go. All right, let's hop into this next one, though. Next one we're going to have is going to be Arizona at Houston. We got Houston minus 4.5 with an over-under of 48.5. Yes, I'm all over this game, man. Give me Arizona plus 5.5. That's what the game opened at. Me and Troy get these lines early in the week, guys. So I would definitely advise you guys the same. Check the spreads early in the week. If there's injuries, stay away from them. But other than that, if there's not huge question marks in the game, early bets in the early of the week are so good. I got this at 5.5. It's moved to 4, I believe, all the way down to 4, and then it went back to 4.5. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went back to 4.5. So at plus 5.5, 4.5, 4. I like it all the way at 3.5. To be honest with you, I wouldn't take it under 3.5. But I would take that thing all the way down to 3.5. Everybody is on C.J. Stroud right now. I mean, this is the whole entire public is going to be dumping their bank accounts into the Houston Texans, and we don't ride with the public. We're going to bet against the public. So
not every time.
Not every time, but
this is 90% one of those right here, right?
Yeah.
Well, when the bet percentage is on the Texans and a lot of the money on the Cardinals, this is just a perfect spot for us to take the Cardinals here. I'm with you. I'm taking them plus 5.5.
Let's go.
As one of my picks this week again. Listen, what you just said is completely right, and Kyler Murray's back. Like, this is not the same.
He looks good.
And he looked really good last week. I mean, 11 months off the ACL tear, and he's running around like a little video game kid. I love it. He keeps that team alive on third down a lot with those legs. If they get the RPO game going, which they did last week, I like them to cover this fight. It's a lot of points. Not saying they're going to win this game outright, but there's a reason why no rookie quarterback has ever done what C.J. Stroud has done. It's because it never happens. It's about to come down. Like, he's not going to keep going here and in his rookie year. So look for the Cardinals to cover this game. I love this spot for them. and with Kyler Murray back, it makes it even better. And I will say this too. So teams coming off a game of 500 or more yards in offense, playing at home, are 71 and 92 ATS the last 20 years. Numbers in our favor here, right?
Yeah.
So give me the Cardinals. Give me Kyler Murray. Love this spot, man.
This is another thing too. Is Kyler Murray? He seems like he's playing like he's got a chip on his shoulder right now.
Yeah.
This whole offseason, all the questions were, hey, Kyler Murray, are you committed to this team? And everyone heard that press conference speech that he had talking about, like, listen, I mean, it was high school, but I was the best Texas high school quarterback of all time. Went to college. I won the Heisman. I got drafted in the MLB and the NFL. Like, I'm here to do this shit. Like, I'm that dude. So I think he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Watching him last week, man, that looked. I honestly, that's the best I've seen Kyler Murray play. I know that we always talk about the Falcons' overinflated defense. Their rankings are a bit higher than what we think how good that defense really is. But man, dude, he made them look like he made them look silly and just was running all over them, throwing the ball. I mean, they look great, and that new tight end they got, man. I mean, he's killing it. I think
he proved why he was the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago.
And what's that tight end's name? He's had like 120 yards past 2 games. So
yeah, he's been really good for them.
Yeah,
can't remember his name, but
maybe look at his over too, because Texas defense isn't that great either. So, but yeah, let's hop into what's up.
Christian, throw the lock of the week up there for me too.
Lock of the week here. Disappeared on you. There you go.
There we go.
There we go. All right, let's hop into this next game. We got Las Vegas traveling to Miami. We got Miami minus 12.5 with an over/under of 46.5. Yeah, this is a weird spot. But this opened so low. If I would have got it at that lower number, I would have loved Miami, like minus a 10.5 or an 11.5. 12.5 is a lot of points. I think that's kind of my limit on it, so I'm gonna stay away from it. I would look huge to the over. I have a big feeling that this is gonna be one of those games where Miami puts up 40 plus and they probably cover, and the Raiders maybe put up 20, 21, something like that, because their offense, I mean, is Aiden O'Connell still their starting quarterback? Am I correct on that? Yeah. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay away from this one, but I would lean the over, and I would probably lean Miami on this one. What you got, Troy?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Miami minus 12.5 as one of my plays this week. Look at that, back-to-back games here. But
let's go.
Listen, what does Miami do, man? They beat the hell out of bad teams. Okay, I'm Antonio Pierce and Aiden O'Connell. I'm sorry, but y'all are a bad team. They're about to get absolutely obliterated. Dolphins coming off a bye. I mean, that's just what the Dolphins do this season, and they're at home, right? So, like you said, Christian, I can see this being like a 42-14, 42-20, whatever game where they just come out and just show the world why they're one of the best offenses in the NFL. I don't see how the Raiders can keep up with that at all with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. He's not good. And they shouldn't have won last week. The Jets dominated that football game, and the Jets just can't score points. So, I mean, a team going on the road here against the Dolphins who play really good at home, I think 12.5 should be pretty easy for them. I know I talk about hating big numbers all the time, but this is what the Dolphins do, man. Tua is 9-0 straight up and 7-2 ATS as a favorite of 4+ at home.
Ooh.
This is what they do. So yeah, give me the Dolphins minus 12.5.
I love it. And just imagine that new coaching staff. They walk into that meeting and they're like, all right, we got to scheme up for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and the Miami Dolphins. And they're like, dude, this is our 3rd week, man. What the fuck? Like, oh, man. But, yeah, that's going to be...
No cigar smoke this week.
Yeah, that is ridiculous, man.
What is this, Tennessee versus Alabama?
They act like they just won the division, man. Like, what are we doing?
It's ridiculous.
Act like you've been there. I know you haven't, but act like it. But, let's hop into this next one. We got we're traveling to Green Bay, where the Chargers are coming on a visit, and they're out for blood. This is gonna be this is gonna be one of my picks of the week, Troy. Chargers.
I know it is, and I'll just kind of give my 2 cents and let you roll with it.
Yeah.
God, I love the Chargers here -3. I just cannot do it because I don't trust Brandon Staley, and they're on the road and Lambeau. God, it's so enticing to take it, but I can't get there like you are. But I would definitely lean that way. Like we talked about earlier, this is a blowout spot, or it's like let's sweat our ass off on the Chargers, right? So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it.
So the reason I'm taking this game, Troy, is I am undefeated on Green Bay bets this year. I believe I'm 4-0. I have bet against Green Bay 4 times, and I am 4-0. So we're riding the hot hand here. I'm taking
There we go.
Chargers -3. We've been saying it all year. Unless the Packers are playing a second string quarterback or just some abysmal team, they are not winning games. They love beating bad teams, and they love getting blown out by good teams.
Well, they do have a second string quarterback behind center for them as well because he's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Jordan
Jordan
Love
Love is, dude. This Packers team is like, it doesn't seem like the books are adjusting for their talent level. Like, are the Packers not just as bad as the Raiders, or like? And I know the Chargers are bad right now and they can't win games, but if you look at that roster, I mean, this is basically. I'm gonna like the Chargers the next couple weeks because I think they're very undervalued, but they're still a good football team. So I'm gonna be riding them probably the next couple weeks, depending on who they play. And then Green Bay, I always love betting against them because for some reason the books still have respect for these guys. Jordan Love is a terrible quarterback. That defense is Swiss cheese. Jair Alexander looks washed. Yeah, give me the Chargers -3. They were just in a game with Detroit, lost by a field goal at the end. Detroit is a great football team, way better than these Packers, man. So I mean, if they just had a tough loss to the Lions, who are a much better football team, this is a huge bounce back week and the perfect team to play. And Green Bay is not Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers was there. That place was electric because they were winning football games. They're not winning football games. That stadium is going to be a little stale this weekend. So. Yeah, give me the Chargers -3. Love that pick. It was almost my lock of the week, but I just love my lock of the week so much more. So let's hop into this next one. Stay tuned for the lock of the week. We got Tennessee going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville -7, over under a 40.5. Just was speaking about how I'm undefeated in Green Bay bets. I don't think I've won a Jacksonville bet, boys. I am 0-3 on the year with Jacksonville Jaguars bets. So we're going to stay away from this game. Biggest lean here would probably be Titans +7. I don't think Jacksonville's really played anybody. I think San Francisco kind of exposed them last week. You get pressure on Trevor Lawrence. He's not very good at making decisions. Every team that he had played previously to the 49ers didn't really have a great pass rush. They caught the Bills. Bills were the best pass rush they faced all year, and they caught the Bills overseas when they had long flights at the end of the week, weren't there for very long. So, yeah, I would lean Titans +7, but Will Levis didn't look great last week, so I'm going to stay away from it. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I totally agree. I'll be quick on this one. I don't have a read on it. Jacksonville is kind of iffy now. They're, like you said, kind of like up in the air. Like, what do we do with this Jacksonville team? 7 points is a ton, and it's another divisional game. I mean, another divisional game. I said it earlier. Since 2019, division dogs are 57% against the spread. So it's like it's a variable spot here. But Will Levis, he's shown flashes, but do we really trust him that much to lay the points here? I don't think so. So I'm with you, man. It's just too many unknowns here, and we're gonna both stay away from this one.
Yeah, I think I would honestly lean the under, if anything. I honestly could see this
40,
being like a
40.5.
Yeah, I could see this being like a 17-14, 2017 type game. That's a low number for Jacksonville, which tells you something. Tennessee plays good defense in division, especially with Vrabel. So, yeah, if I was to lean anything and I was going in my head how to take something, probably taking the under. But, yeah, let's hop into this next one. And also, unders this year are just hitting at an unbelievable rate.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Cleveland -1.5 with an over under 32.5. Man, did I want to bet this game. I really wanted to take Cleveland. I know they are going to think I wanted to take the Steelers, but no. I wanted to take Cleveland. Terrible spot for the Steelers here. Traveling on the road, possibly playing a top 3 defense. The over under of 32.5 is hilarious. They don't even think that they're going to. They don't even think anyone's going to score 3 touchdowns. But yeah, huge lean to Cleveland. I honestly think Cleveland, even with whoever, it doesn't matter who they have at quarterback. I can go out there and start quarterback for them and win this game probably because the Pittsburgh is winning some games that they should not win. And I'm saying that as a Steelers fan. They're winning some games that are ugly as football, and that's exactly what Cleveland does the best. Is they play the best ugly football. So if this game gets ugly, I think Cleveland blows them out. Pittsburgh's got to come out firing on offense if they even want to stay in this game. I think they got to find some way to get Kenny Pickett some yards and get him comfortable. They're just basically telling him, hey, man, we're going to give you a go route on 3rd and 10. Throw it to Pickens on the sideline, see what you can do. Like, come on, man. Draw something up, Matt Canada. Like, get Deontay Johnson a little bubble, something. I just want to see a little creativity in this offense. I mean, you got athletes on the field. There's no creativity. So, yeah, fire Matt Canada 2023. Get him out. But, yeah, lean anywhere, Cleveland. You got anything, Troy?
No, I did. I was going to take the Steelers as one of my plays this week. It was at +4. But then the Deshaun Watson news broke, and the line went all the way down to 1.5. So I'm not backing Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and I'm just – and now the points
DTR, bro?
way too –
Come on.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. And it's down to 1.5 now, so now it's really just a pick 'em, honestly, and I don't trust the Steelers that much. So at 4 – I loved it. It was really a good spot for Tomlin and the Steelers. You know, like I've said, it's a rah-rah Mike Tomlin spot.
Yeah, but not at home.
Not at this number, right? So, yeah, we're definitely going to pass this. This is going to be an ugly-ass game.
Yeah. And
30 – what'd you say, 32.5?
32.5,
yeah. Absolutely not. So, yeah, let's hit that next one. That's no go for me.
And one thing, too, about Mike Tomlin is I like rah-rah spots at home. You know, he's a home dog, or he's, only favored by 2.5 at home. I love those spots. But on the road, dude, I just feel like we lose some juice. But, yeah, let's hop into this next one. Dallas at Carolina. We got Carolina +10.5 with the over-under of 41.5. If I was to lean anywhere here, I actually think we're on different sides on this one, Troy. If I was to lean anywhere, it'd actually be the Cowboys. What are the Cowboys famously known for is beating the dog shit out of bad teams. So, yeah, I would definitely lean the Cowboys. Bryce Young just looks rough. I know Carolina won off that bye week against the Texans, so everyone's like, oh, they beat the Texans, they got to be decent, but Frank Reich is undefeated off bye weeks for some reason. I don't understand that, but it's a weird stat, but he won the game, so always bet Frank Reich off bye weeks. That's the only thing I got on the Panthers. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I do, and I'm going to take the Panthers +10.5. Love this spot for them. Listen, they've been improving every week, and what do the Panthers do well at, if anything, at this season? They play well at home. Like, they played well. I'm not saying they played great, but they played well at home, and with 10.5, that's all we need. Frank Wright is actually calling the plays this week, so he's taking that back over. I like, with who was calling the plays before, they could never get in a rhythm. With Frank calling plays, I really like Bryce Young's chances here to cover that 10.5. I think 95% of the bets are on Dallas. 92% of the money is on Dallas. This thing started at 6.5, has gone all the way up to 10.5. Obviously, I mean, I just love it. I love it. I'm going to be one of the 8% betting with the Panthers. And I love ugly spots like this. And let's remember, Dallas this year on the road is not Dallas at home, and even against bad teams, they don't blow out bad teams. I don't know where you got that from, but. Listen, they go blow out at home. At home they do. They blow out the Jets. They go on the road next week and get the Cardinals, get beat by the Cardinals. They blow out the Patriots 38-3 at home. Go on the road the next week against 49ers, get blown out. They're supposed to be a top contender. Got their ass beat.
Did they lose to Arizona on the road?
Yes, they did. Then they go beat the Rams at home, blow them out at home. Then they go get beat by the Eagles on the road when they should have won that game, made a ton of mistakes. So when they go on the road, they make a lot of mistakes. Dak's going to turn the ball over, maybe fumble here, fumble there. 10.5 is a lot of points. Give me the Panthers.
Absolutely. Love all the points there. Let's hop on to the next one here. We got Giants at Washington. We got Washington -9.5 with an over-under of 36.5. I really wanted to take Washington minus the 9.5 here. I just don't see where the Giants score more than 10 points, kind of like last week. I just don't see where Giants score more than 10 points. But yeah, it's just weird because Sam Howell can go out there and get sacked, 8 times, 9 times, and this doesn't even come close to covering. Last game they played, I believe it was 14-10, and the Giants actually, or 14-7, and the Giants won. But Tyrod Taylor was at quarterback then, seasoned vet, and you're gonna have Vito, the Italian stallion, out there for the Giants. So yeah, lean anywhere. Washington -9.5, but I'm gonna stay away from it because, God, Sam Howell, he gets hit a lot. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, I would definitely lean Washington -9.5. Totally agree with all the points you just made. DeVito is their starting quarterback. That's all I got to fucking say. Eric Bieniemy has been just an amazing OC for the Redskins, I do this every week. For the Commanders. For the Commanders this year. He's got Sam Howell leading the league in passing yards. So I think the Washington Commanders blow the Giants out. And it was actually one of my plays, but just I can't put it on because we only do 4. So this was going to be one of them. I had 7 lined up. It was actually at 8.5 earlier today, like about 4 hours ago. It's not at 9.5. So looks like some money came on Washington. Love the Skins, love the Commanders here, but just not enough to put them on here.
Absolutely, I feel the exact same way. Chicago at Detroit. Detroit -8.5 with an over/under of 47.5. You got anything on this one, Troy?
8.5 now.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was at 10. It was at 10. Was earlier?
Yeah, earlier today.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would lean Chicago with Justin Fields coming back. The only reason I can't get there is because Jared Goff is 11-0 against the spread in his last 11 divisional games. So for that reason, I am completely out.
Absolutely. It's been one of my picks of the week. Chicago +10.5.
There we go.
Yeah, I got this earlier in the week when it was a bigger number. One thing to watch out for, guys, is the reason that this number was so high earlier in the week was no one knew if Justin Fields was going to play. Anytime a player practices the week prior and doesn't play that week, they're 100% going to play the following week. There's no way they're going to go through practice 2 weeks in a row and sit 2 weeks. It's just not. It just never happens. So if they practice the week prior, don't play that game, and then they practice the next week, take them. Take that spot because they're not going to account for it. I got this at +10.5. It's gone all the way down to 8.5 because they've basically seen, Justin Fields is going to play. Well, yeah, it was pretty obvious he was going to play. But yeah, so Chicago +10.5. Love this spot. The Bears love playing the Lions close. So I think this is going to be a close game. Could even be a field goal game, I think. Justin Fields loves these type of defenses. They run a lot of sets that he loves seeing. It allows him to get out the pocket and scramble. So yeah, love Chicago +10.5. Honestly, might sprinkle a little bit on the money line because we saw the Lions play last week, and the Chargers are like we said, aren't a great football team, and that was a field goal game. So I mean, Bears could come in here and have a crazy upset, divisional game, big spread, love it. Give me Chicago +10.5. But let's hop into this next one. Next game is going to be Tampa Bay at San Francisco. San Francisco -11.5, over under 41.5. If you touch Tampa Bay +11.5, don't do it. If you didn't watch that game last week, Bosa and Chase and Young coming off the edge, dude, that is a scary combo, man. And I do not want to be on the other side of that team right now. Debo back, Trent Williams back. Dude, I heard the best quote today. They said Trent Williams is like a human force field. He doesn't even have to put his hands on people. If you watch film, cornerbacks will literally dive out of the way. If he's coming their way, they won't even try to make the tackle. They'll just dive on the ground.
Did you see 31 for Jacksonville last week?
He dove on the
twice.
He just dove on the ground and was just like, "Don't touch me, please." Yeah. So, dude,
he's the best athlete I've ever seen.
He's insane.
330 pounds.
I think I put him in the NBA. I want to see what he could do in the NBA playing a power forward or center. I bet this man's got some hops on him too. He's got those little itty bitty legs, perfect for linemen. Oh man, he's just like looks like he was built in the lab. So I mean, when he's on the field, and then I think Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if is he gonna play this week. I know he has that oblique injury. Is he still gonna play?
I don't think he's not. I think he's playing.
Okay, because I know he aggravated it on Sunday, but I think he's still gonna play this week. So yeah, only way I could look here was San Francisco minus 11.5. They look like a scary football team right now. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I think Vegas has that number right. Don't see much value in it. I would want to take the Buccaneers here with that big of a number, but it's just they're coming off a big win last week. I don't want to back them after a big win. They're just not that good of a football team, and the 49ers are one of the best. So, yeah, definitely staying away in this spot.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's hop into this next one. We got Seattle traveling to the Rams. Rams +1, over under of 46.5. Man, this is a weird game. I really wanted to take Seattle -1. LA does have Matt Stafford coming back. I'm not even sure why. I don't think this Rams team is going to make the playoffs. But this would be a big start for them to try to make a push and make the playoffs. So for that reason, I'm not going to touch this game. I would lean Seattle -1, but Seattle looks like a terrible football team. Kind of this mid-season of the year. But yeah, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, no, this is a coin flip game. No real play for me here. I would lean the Rams with Matthew Stafford coming back. The Seahawks have looked pretty bad the last couple weeks. Not really sure what they're doing, even though they won last week. Defensively, they're not good. Not a good football team. And Matthew Stafford and that offense, I think will be back humming with Puka and Cooper. But it's a coin flip game. I think it opened at 2.5. It's at 1 now. Just don't see much value for me. I'd lean the Rams, but yeah, definitely not making this play.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a weird game. All right, let's hop into this next one here. We got... Oh.
That's not right.
That's not right. Let's see. I think the next one is Jets Buffalo. There we go.
There we go.
All right, we got the Jets traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo -7 with an over under of 40. Yeah, this is a weird one here. I would lean to the Jets +7. Not even a big lean though. Everyone's doubting the Bills this week, man. I mean, everybody's riding the Jets +7, like saying the Bills are frauds. This is going to be a field goal game. Josh Allen doesn't play well against the Jets. All this. I mean, I could see this. I could see the Bills just playing pissed off this week, man. If there's any offense that's capable of beating this Jets defense, I think it's the Bills. But man, they look like frauds. So I'm staying away from this one. I need to see more from the Bills. They might be dead. Jets defense is too good for me to take the Bills, and I ain't putting money on Zach Wilson +7 against the Bills. So you got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from, but everybody's on the Bills this week. All the bets are on the Bills. All the money's on the Jets. And this would be a prime spot for us to take the Jets here, but like you said, we're not backing Zach Wilson again after last week. I cannot do it. They can't score points. And who knows what the Bills are going to do with this offense. I mean, Ken Dorsey just got fired for no reason. Sean McDermott's trying to save his job, I guess. Offense has not been the problem. It's the turnovers and the bad decision making, like on Sunday or Monday night when they're kicking the field goal, and they got 12 men on the field. They won the fucking game.
Yeah, the
won
game
the
was
game,
over.
and that's a head coach problem. That's not an OC problem. So, totally disagree with what they did, but like, what were we going back Zach Wilson here again? Absolutely not. So let's get the hell off of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hop into the next one here. We got Minnesota at Denver. Denver -2.5 with an over under 43.5. You got anything on this one?
Yeah, no. So I told y'all I had lock of the week Denver +7 like week 3 with the Bills. I said I would never bet Denver again, and I'm sticking with it. With that being said, I would lean Denver here, and very, very hard because I think this is the right spot for Denver. Josh Dobbs is not going to keep doing this. Listen, Dobbs is 2-9 straight up as a starter. So numbers are in our favor here if we're riding the Broncos. The Vikings have 80% of the bets. Road dogs with 80% of the bet. Come on, bro. No, absolutely not. I would definitely lean the Broncos hard. I just made a promise to everybody that I'm not betting the Broncos again. So, anyways, Christian, what do you got?
Yeah, I made that same promise, but I'm going to bet it right now with the lock of the week. -2.5, baby. Give me Denver. I mean,
That's
the two wins that they've had the past, they've been at home. They're basically on a homestand right here. They had Chiefs at home. They had Bills at home, and now they got the Vikings at home. They just played two very good teams, and Bills very good teams. But I mean, -2.5 at home, under a field goal. This team is playing well now. I'm not going to say good. I'm going to say well because they're it's still ugly football they're winning.
Well, those mean the same exact thing, but
What? Yeah, I
never
mean the
mind.
same thing, but well is just the more proper version because it's
Exactly.
yeah. But anyway, then Denver -2.5. Love this spot. I think these boys are gonna possibly blow them out too. Like you said, Josh Dobbs is not the quarterback that social media is trying to make him be. He's a great guy, awesome astronaut, pastronaut, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I don't care what you want to call him because he's losing big this week. Denver -2.5, lock of the week. Let's go.
Book it.
All right, man. Let's hop into the final game of the week. It's a big one. Philly at Kansas City. A little Super Bowl rematch. Kansas City -2.5. Over under 45.5.
What a treat.
Man, it was at 3. I really wanted to take the Eagles +3. Big revenge spot for the Eagles guys here. Kansas City wasn't the team that was in the Super Bowl last year. I think the Eagles are still the same team, if not better. So I mean, love Philly plus the +3 here. If it's at 2.5 on your book, by the half point, it's worth it. This very well could be a field goal game. So yeah, I would love taking Philly plus the 3. But I would like to just sit back and enjoy this game. I might take some player props or something like that. But yeah, I don't really want to have a side on this one. So I'm going to stay away from this. What you got, Troy?
Yeah, no, the Eagles are the better football team here. But this is Andy Reid and this is Patrick Mahomes. And for that reason, I'm definitely staying away from this unless that number gets to 3.5. But in the last 20 years, Andy Reid off a bye. Okay, this is a crazy fucking stat right here. Off a bye, 25-6. That's including the playoffs, obviously. So in the last 20 years off a bye, Andy Reid is 25-6 straight up. Okay, we're off a bye here, right? Here's another one. Mahomes, as a favorite of 3 or less, or as an underdog, is 26-1 against the spread. 26-1.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
That's insane.
Now Mahomes as a favorite of 3.5 or more is 35-40 against the spread. So which is why I say if that number gets to 3.5, we're gonna take the Eagles. We'll tweet it out. We're definitely taking them if it gets there.
Yeah.
If it's at 3 or below, we're definitely not touching it.
Yeah. Because like you said, Eagles are the better football team.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want to bet on the Eagles, but those Mahomes stats, the off the bye stats,
Wild, bro.
Andy
It's
Reid
wild.
used to be the coach of the Eagles, so revenge spot for him. It's just a lot going on in this game, and it's really hard to cap. So I mean, Eagles could blow them out, Chiefs could blow them out. Could be a close game. Like who the hell knows? So just sit back and enjoy this. This is gonna be a great game. Bet some player props. Unless it gets up to 3.5, then smash the Eagles. But yeah, man, that's it. That's it for this week, man. That's the last game of the week. We no longer have a guest on, so this is going to basically be the wrap up for us. You got anything else to say here, Troy?
No, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you follow the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. Stay tuned for all of our bets that we post on there, the ones we don't have on this show. Like and subscribe to the tube, and we'll see y'all next week.
Absolutely. See you guys.